Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to get into our full screen mode. And if you could, just give me a holler. Let me know that you can see and hear my lovely voice. Again, good morning, everybody. It's Friday Eve, 3/18, March the 18th. Are we good? Can you hear me? Let's get over here. Let's just make sure that I am in here. And this has been giving us some issues here on the audio. So let me disconnect really quick. And let's try here. All right, let's see, we should be good. Yep, there we go. We should be good. Can you guys hear and see the screen? All right, awesome. Sorry about that. Murphy's Law, right? I was ready to go. So first things first, I apologize for being a little bit late this morning. As Matt had suggested in the room, we had a thunderstorm come through last night, and for the life of me, I could not fall asleep. Lots of lightning. We're right here on the water, lots of thunder. Have not heard this in quite some time. So it's a lovely sound, right? But not when you're trying to sleep and get up early in the morning. But nonetheless, I'm here. I'm here with you. I can't wait to get started this morning. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, so I will be opening up more questions for you guys if you have charts and so forth that you want to look at. But first things I want to talk about the ES and the NASDAQ, okay? So we are looking at the futures. And remember, when I'm looking at the ES futures, I'm going to give you a blueprint. If you want to trade the SPY with this, basically every 10 points in the ES, we're looking for a dollar in the SPY, all right, to the upside or downside. The charts that we're looking at, we have a 4-hour, and then we have ourselves a weekly, all right? Now, if you're watching for the first time and you're wondering, well, why do we care about the futures? The ES futures for me is the driver for the market. So if, for example, if the ES is in a consolidation phase after a big run up, then I expect chop in the equity market in everything that you're looking at. All right, are we in a trend cycle? If we're not in a trend cycle, things are going to be a little bit more difficult. Some things I talk about are smaller allocation, wider stops during this phase or during this cycle. Okay. When looking over here on the ES futures for the 4-hour and the weekly, it's good to compare so you can get the bigger picture of what is really going on. On the 4H, I want to go ahead and note a few things for you. You had this really nice trend that happened. We are now in a consolidation phase or cycle, and really at the end of the day, this yellow box and the trendy edge worked very nicely for that pop yesterday, and we were able to get out of a lot of trades for profits and also able to trim. All right, so that was nice. Now, what about today though? So this trendy edge, this pink line, this does not move. This is our support for right now. And on a 4H, you can see that we are in the cloud. It's a little choppy in here. And really if price were to fall, let's go ahead and zoom in here. If price were to fall and it cannot hold this low, it cannot hold this trendy edge, then I would expect that price is going to just kind of melt down. Now, right over here on this inside and up, we might find some support. As long as we are in the yellow, let it mellow. All right, so all this entire week has been just stay patient. We stayed patient, we added on the dip, and it ended up paying off very quickly yesterday on that bounce. Okay, so same thing today. Just be patient. Don't try to force any trades. As long as we're in the yellow, let it mellow. As far as the upside, we have it inside and down, folks, right at the line in the sand. This is very important. This tells me that today's range is basically around this line in the sand and this high and potentially right here at this inside and up. It's just right here around 39.15 to 3900. This is the range. If I'm looking to get long, I like to get long lower on the curve of this range. And if I want to get short, then I'm thinking of getting short higher on this range. We did this yesterday and we made money on the upside and the downside in the SPY. And you can see that as I scroll over here on the right, we did have quite a few winners yesterday. And let's see, SPY right here on the call side was 67%. And then on the put side, I think we got pretty close to 60% as well. Yeah, right here. So 62%. So same thing on this, what we're looking for. I'd expect prices to bounce somewhere around 39.13 to 3900. All right, and then if we were to push up into this line in the sand, for me, this is the better place to get short, not why we're just kind of hanging out here in the middle. Now over here on the right on the weekly, we have an inside and up. We have a nice rounding bottom as we expected almost for the last 2 weeks, and we were right during this cycle. We were buying this dip as well. That also worked out. What's been difficult is the day-to-day trading, right? I can guarantee you a lot of traders started getting long into positions yesterday, and sure enough, we wake up, futures are down, we have some econ data, people are worried about the 10-year, jobless claims not so high, and look at where we are this morning. So allocation is really, really important. Where am I at? I'm 88% cash, 2% in options, okay? And I have 10% in equity. That's it. So I'm in cruise control. Nothing to be concerned about. All right. So ES futures, we went ahead and went over this. What I'm looking for right now is range bound to down. When I say down, I don't mean like, a full on, huge pullback. It's this yellow box here. Range bound, 39.13, 3900, into the upside, potentially 39.63, into yesterday's high around 39.78. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. I want to go over BAC. I specifically went over BAC yesterday, right? And we are waking up here. We do have calls at the 38.5 strike. We're trading at 38.52 to 38.54. So please check those on open. And let's just look at the picture here. It's a nice move, all right? You can see that on a 4-hour on your left-hand side. We continue to make higher lows and higher highs. So a nice trend here. My next target is 39.49. All right, I'll get back to this 4-hour here in a second. We're going to do this together, all right? So I haven't quite put the blueprint together for this morning, but we still have yesterday's. Now, over here, it's important because the weekly is showing that it was an inside week. In order for it to be a continuation week, price needs to close over 38. Okay, so we got about 50 cents to play with here this morning. Do they want to close it on an inside week, or do we just continue up towards a 39.49? I'm going to show you how to attack that. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready. First thing I want to do, all right, is pull up this 4-hour chart. I'm going to open up this a little bit, and let's just take a look at the trendy scripts. These green arrows that are already in here are going to be my support levels. So far as today is concerned, we have a 4-hour support level here at the trendy edge, which is this yellow line, okay? And then we have this support here, okay? So this would be my risk for today. If you're in this for a swing, my risk is down here. So let's go ahead and place this here. Please keep in mind too on options, today is Thursday, okay? So you can get a lot of theta in here if you end up buying the open and then it comes in and digests for about, let's say 30 to 90 minutes. You can lose a lot of that premium. All right, so what does that mean? Again, just stay patient, all right? And I'm going to give you all that here in a second. So let's go ahead and edit this. I'm going to make it red, okay, number 3, and I'm going to put ST for short term, okay, ST for short term. And we're going to put risk here and make sure we can see that. And let's go ahead and put it right there. So this is your short-term risk. This is more for our swing risk. And let's go ahead and measure on Fibonacci's just really quick. And we will be having a FIB class really soon. If you're interested, please reach out and let me know. You could do that on Twitter. You could do that on our website at TrendyTrading.co, but you won't want to miss it. And right now we're holding 38.2. That looks really bullish for right now. If we were to pull back, as far as a buy goes, I'd be interested around 38.25 to 38 on a pullback. All right, so we need to hold this 38.50. And so I'm just going to put a line right in here and just kind of come under a little bit. And let's take this one off. That's from yesterday. And then this is pretty much right in here is going to be my buying area. Okay. So I'm going to put entry right here. Just like that. I'm already in it. Please understand that. I'm already in it. But if I want to add, I'll be adding down here. All right. So let's go ahead and follow this. Okay. So price is most likely, let's say that we start to move up. All right. What's very important here is that we can remain calm and try not to freak out and buy something immediately. That's called FOMO. All right. What I want to see is within 30 minutes on this trade alone that it actually can get above this previous high. Okay. If it gets above this previous high, it'll come in, it'll retest this level, and then it'll start to make higher highs. This is my confirmation things are looking good. Doesn't mean I really have to wait for that. That just depends on you as a trader and your personality. All right, if I want to add in here, I'm happy to add in as long as price is holding my risk. So we have two different types of traders. We have traders that are aggressive and they just go for it and they understand the risk and they're okay with what they're risking. That means you're 100% okay with losing that risk. And then we have the type of traders where they just want to wait. All right, doesn't matter. But if we're going to wait, I want to see if it can get over this high. If we're not going to wait, I just want to make sure that price can hold over this. If we're not going to wait and it expires this week, it's important for you to understand that it is Thursday. Tomorrow these expire. Therefore, theta is a big deal today. Maybe buying next week's calls a little bit better for you. Maybe. It's up to you. Okay. Now, as far as the risk, again, 37.90. All right, 37.90 for today. This needs to hold. So let's make this easy. 37.90 holds. I'm looking for 39.49. It's as simple as that. All right. Let's go ahead and move on here to JPM. All right, here we are up another $2.50 on JPM. And we should have our blueprint. I believe we went over this name yesterday as well. Yeah. So I was saying yesterday above the cloud, look for this block up here, and you can see we hit that very nicely. So if you took this, congratulations. So what does that mean going forward? Well, we always want to check out the bigger chart. That's the chart over here on the right. You can see we're basically at all-time highs, right? All right, so we do have a plan for this. Let me show you what that looks like. If it's okay with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and take off this stuff over here. Clear drawing set. Boom, gone. Okay. Now what I want to do is I can see this. I can visualize this, right? There's a channel here. You guys can see that. It's not too difficult to see, right? But I need some Fibonacci extensions. I don't have a target to the upside. So we'll go ahead and throw these on. If you don't know how to do that, that's okay. Again, I'm going to be teaching this soon. And these are going to be my targets for right now to the upside. I'm going to use these two here. And there's a reason why I picked the point that I picked, all right? And again, I will teach that in the future. And then to the downside, again, we're looking for that support. So where is that support? I don't see any green arrows that are popping up, all right? It's a little choppy. You can see that in the personality of this. But I'm going to go right in here for my support. And let's go ahead and put this on. And the reason why I did that is I'm looking for candle structure, but I'm also looking to see the biggest powerful move out there. And so we should have support there. Okay. Again, risk. We're going to throw this on the right. Boom, just like that. All right, so that's my risk. Right now, it's coming in at around $2 of risk. So that's right on par where I want to be. All right. So on open, we're going to take the trendy edge. I'm going to identify this for you guys. To be a little bit different, we can call this a neutral strategy right there. I'm going to color these a little bit different for you. That way they just kind of stick out just a tad. Okay. And we're just going to write the word neutral in here. Basically, you're just going to chill out. Nothing to do. All right, so let it do its thing. If it breaks out over the high, I'm looking for 158.99, and above that, 160.34. If it breaks down below the neutral, starts to close underneath the neutral, look for price to pull back into the 155.11 area, and I will not be interested in a long unless we can reclaim. Let me go ahead and draw that out for you. If we start to close under here, we come back in and test the cloud. The market comes in a little bit. You know, it's doing its thing. You can set an alert here at or above. Let's say the price starts to move back up. I'm a buyer here, stops go in, and then I'm moving up towards the neutral. And what I can do is I can trim into these lines here. Trim or close. All right? That's the plan there. All right? On the upside, let's go ahead and show you that. If for some reason we start to move above here, okay, I can start here. What I want to see is a pullback, just like the last one I showed you. Higher highs, stops go in. I'm looking for 158.99, 160.34. If you don't want to wait for anything and you are happy with the risk, then what I can do is I can buy. And as long as 155.11 holds, I'm staying long. Or let's say I start the position, I go in small. Then I can start small, and at 155.11, I can add. The issue with this type of setup for today, again, I keep saying this, it's Thursday. Okay, if this was Monday, different story. If you're trying to buy weekly expirations and the thing is not working out for you immediately, then this can go bad for you very quickly. Okay? Equity, to me, different story. You know, I'm a little bit more flexible with equity, but with your options, you're dealing with a lot of different Greeks and so forth, okay? All right, so I got those two banks out of the way. Let's look at GS. I have not jumped into GS this week. And, you know, GS is fun, especially on a Thursday, because this thing can run, you know. We're going to look at this. Let me go ahead and clear this draw and set for you as well. Look at this move. You know, I could tell you a lot of traders are not chasing this. They don't think that it's going to continue up. And then when you wake up every morning, you're like, man, I should be in banks, right? So let's just take a look at it. And let's see what it's reading out. All right, 4 hour, nice little cup forming here. And let me go ahead and draw this for you just so you can see the different things I'm looking at. Nice cup. You know, you get this little double top in here. You get the pullback in here, support, just like the last chart I showed you at JPM. All right, and then this suggests if we can find support here, you get that move. Now we do have some green arrows. I want to go ahead and identify those for you. And you can see, just like I was showing you on the blueprints earlier, these arrows, right? These are your support levels. This is where we want to see if buyers come in during an uptrend. All right, so far today, let's go ahead and get a blueprint going. This is going to be my neutral. I'm going to use the trendy edges right above here, right there. Let's go ahead and write in the word neutral. Now, I will tell you and be straight up with you, this is what I call a low probability trade. I don't like to use the word lotto in our room because I'm not one for gambling when it comes to trading, but I will take low probability trades. What that means is I'm going to use my same setups, but the time is against me. Time is always a variable when trading options. So it's a lower probability that it can actually hit during the time frame. Again, it's Thursday. Tomorrow we have expiration. But this would be a low probability setup for me. And when I take a low probability setup, my risk is what I pay. So if I pay $1 for it, I'm okay with losing $1. $1 in options means 100 bucks. Okay? So let's go ahead and go from here. And I'm going to give us a nice little Fibonacci extension. I'm going to come right in here, right there, and we're going to have our targets. All right, just like this. All right, so my low probability setup, folks, and let's pull this over here. I'm going to edit that. We're going to give you guys some setups here. And right there. All right, and what that suggests, that blue line, just a ATH, okay, all-time high. All right, so just so you understand that. So what I like to do with these on lower probability setups is first I'm going to check the option price when we open up. And what I'm thinking is if we start to pull back towards the support, then I'm buying up here. Okay, again, let's go ahead and draw this out for you. If for some reason the market starts to open, things start to flush a little bit, people get scared. What I'm looking for is the bounce to come in here, and I'm going to buy these strikes up here. Okay, I want these really cheap. People aren't thinking about these. What people are thinking is the world's coming to an end, and they're looking for buying puts down here, okay? And I'm looking for this to be support, all right? So again, this is my plan on GS. We'll see what the options look like when we open here, and then we could press on, all right? All right, so I think I made that pretty clear. Anybody have any questions, please let me know. All right, Mike wants to look at crowd. Let's go ahead and look at CRWD. Now, what's pretty cool is you're going to see, after talking about even the bank charts, a lot of these, we're going to kind of have the same formations and the same look, all right? So crowd, unfortunately, if you bought yesterday, you're down about $6 here, right? I'm going to give you a 4-hour. And this was, let's see, Trendy expected. All right, this is the blueprint I gave for the earnings. And you can see we're just kind of hanging out right down here. We're still in the cloud on the weekly. All right, that's never a good thing, in my opinion, because it's hard, it's choppy, right? So let's go ahead and take this level off. And for me, Mike, just a quick question. Are you looking for something for like a day trade? Are you thinking more like a swing? What are your thoughts here? It's always nice to know when you guys ask a question, like what your time frame is, short term or long term. Okay. All right, so let's do that. On the short term, what I would do, you see that we're underneath 3 trendy edges here, folks. This is very rare. 3 trendy edges. Mike, I hope you see that. This right here, that means there's a lot of resistance because price is under it. When it's above it, it looks like a lot of support. Because we have 3 edges going on here, we're looking at consolidation. All right, if you like shapes, throw this on there. All right, this is for your 4-hour. Just throw a nice trend line on here and understand that on a short-term time frame, I'm not really interested in getting long unless this can start to get over the edges, the blue, the pink, the yellow. All right, and if it can hold here, then potentially we can get a nice move coming up towards this way. Now, when we look left, notice that we have this pivot high here. Very important. So for me, because I think that the market is range bound to down, right, is that this is your range. So if we break out, just understand what your risk is. That's going to be what your stop is, and understand what your reward is. And in this blueprint, the reward is suggesting if it were to pick up and go, potentially you can see 211, 212. All right, but as far as support goes, I'm thinking 198.5 needs to hold. 198.5 holds. We break above the edges, you could see 211, 212. All right, that's for a day trade. Look for support to come in around that 198.5 if it pulls back anymore. All right. On the weekly, personally, I like this one better. We're setting up for an inside and up. Okay, we're underneath the cloud. My trigger on this trade would be it needs to get above this cloud. Notice when we look at both the 4-hour and the weekly, I come over here and the edge is telling me above 205.28. This cloud is telling me we need above 208. So I could start my trade if we hold above the edge here a little bit early. But understanding on the swing trade that I'm still in this cloud here. Okay, so you definitely need to buy a little bit of time. Once we break that cloud and we could show that we can hold this cloud, then I think we start to move up towards the inside and down right in this area around 230s. Okay, I like the swing. The short term, it's really important to understand what's going on in the futures right now and what's going across, the sentiment in the market. So, all right, and let's come over here and let's look at. Let me pull up my monitor here. There we go. All right, so HD, I sold some naked calls yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look at this really quick. All right, so I have a long-term position in this, and really, at the end of the day, this is my largest position right now, okay? And it's fairly small. Like I said, I've only got about 2% in options right now. My long term is 60 plus days out, but I went ahead and sold naked calls against it. Okay, so the naked calls, let's see what we got here. Just so if anybody's followed me on this trade. Pull this over just really fast. All right, there you go. All right, so I sold these yesterday for I think 55 cents or so. We're going to be opening up down, and so watch these. And I'd like to buy them back, you know, probably around the 10-cent mark, 5-cent mark if we can get it down there. So just let's watch this carefully. Again, sold these naked calls against my long position in HD. All right, and if you look here, you can see this is where I am down here. Okay, so I'm all the way down here, the 305 level. All right, and I'll keep selling calls against it just to stay in this trade a little bit longer, kind of help finance that trade. All right. All right, and other than that, it's 8:28. We're getting ready to get started here. This is really, really one of the coolest things to keep me on the right side of the trade when we open up in the morning, and that's going to be looking at the ES on the 5-minute. We're still paying attention to the bigger time frame, but the PMZ is very, very, very important. All right, let's see here. All right, there's our PMZ. All right, and our risk today is looking like, there we go, 2.6, so not bad. And what we want to see, this little box that's right here, that's all I'm watching this morning. Okay, this is called a negative neutral. All that means is our PMZ is below the line in the sand. Price is hanging out in the box, so that makes it neutral. And really, at the end of the day, bulls have a fighting chance here, folks. They're going to have to stay across this box. The probability suggests if we can break and hold this box in the first probably 10, 15 minutes, we can break out to the upside. Okay, we'll kind of see what these guys want to do. I'm gonna put some alerts down here so we can move over to the BAC. Put that there, and I want to know if we can get above the VWAP. Alert at or above. And let's go ahead and put BAC here. JPM. And I'm going to add one here. Just put GS. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's a little slow this morning. TOS is. JPM looking good. Oh, there we go. That's really good. Did you hear Aspen? Yeah, she was barking. Ashley had to put her out back to use the bathroom, and that girl does not like to stay outside. She's a trip. Alright, so we're going to play the waiting game here this morning. Play the waiting game on stocks, but also the waiting game with Thinkorswim. They are really working slow this morning, huh? You know, everybody always talks about the brokerage account. Like, oh, my brokerage account doesn't work. I'm switching over. And one of my favorite things to do is make people understand that the brokerage accounts are a lot like the market. They fluctuate. They're up and down, right? So the issue is, if you're not patient, you end up running to another broker. And then, you know, as soon as you buy there, things start messing up on you. So just be patient. Stick with one that you like. Thinkorswim has been good to me for so many years. It's never really, it's made me mad a couple times, but no reason to leave it. All right, BAC, awesome move here. JPM, awesome move. Nice. Let me pull those up just really quick. Probably what I'm going to do is buy I'm going to close the, let's see here, back. Trying to see what prices we can get these for. Okay, good deal. 39.49. I want this to come in a little bit. These are only going for 9 cents by 11 cents, folks, on these BAC. I'm going to give them about 30 minutes or so, okay? Again, if you want to be aggressive, different story. If you're okay with the risk, yahoo, have fun. Right? All right, this GS though, let's see what these 354s were going for. I'm just curious. Probably not very cheap. They're $1.09 by $1.44. Do a spread here, and let me see what the, if I buy the 352s, sell the 357s, and cost me $1.28. I'm going to see what that will give me. Give me about $372, so not a bad risk to return there on GS. Nice. And let's go with, let's see if we get some of these BACs. Okay, they're 11 by 13 now. By 14. And our futures are sticking around that 20 point mark to downside. Okay, nice push here into, remember, I told you a cup here on GS. Nice cup, and then I expect this, and then potentially that. And I might sell, or I might buy some contracts in ES or MES. We'll just stay patient here. See if we get a move back up towards the line in the sand here shortly. And notice as we come in here, so this is what I was talking about this morning, all right? Notice how we have a high up here, all right? And see how we're backing off? It's always like, for me, that's always the telltale. We're just kind of, you know, can these guys get over the session highs and will they build a base above there? A lot of folks will get trapped in, like try to buy really quick, and then it kind of pulls in the section. But if we can break above here, our probabilities start increasing towards that 39.49 there. Okay. What about 357 on GS? Freaking rockets on this thing, man. This is 77 by $1. That's not bad. That'd be like I said, that'd be more of a low probability trade. Then JPM 159 to 160. Let's look at those options. Trying to see which ones of these are more appealing to me for a Thursday trade. Personally, JPM's at 53 by 55 cents for the 160s. Pretty inexpensive. There goes BAC, guys. So right here, I do like this 39.49. And then on your JPM, if it can hold this level, this trade right here is gonna be for me is just on JPM. It's just going to be what I pay is going to be my risk, which is just $100 on this. And it's trying. Okay, and you see I just bought those and they come over here into the alerts really quick, which is really cool. And then on your BAC, up here towards 39.49. And the alerts kind of tell you everything. They tell you how much I paid, expiration, all that fun stuff. So again, these are just a proof of concept. You know, some people call these alerts. I just call these my actual buys and sells. Right? Hey babe, good morning. What's going on? Where are you going?
I have to finish packing. I wasn't able to put like clean clothes in my bag because
You guys leave today?
Chloe, no, we leave early tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Last night, Dad, I had a really bad diarrhea, like from Taco Bell.
Oh, really?
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I colored the water like it was water.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Sorry guys, talking to my daughter over here.
I love you.
I love you too. Wait a minute. Be good. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
I will call you when I'm done.
Okay, yeah, do that. FaceTime me when you get there, okay?
Okay, would you like me to get you anything while I'm there?
No. Just have fun, baby.
Okay.
Alright, I love you.
I'll miss you, but I will be back, so.
Okay.
Let's try and like go to lunch or something.
Okay, baby.
When I get back. Okay, I love you.
Alright.
Have a good day.
Alright, love you too. Alright guys, here goes this nice little breakout potentially into GS. BAC is looking good. JPM, that's the only thing I bought so far. I already had BAC. If you're in JPM, you're already at 12%. May not seem like a big deal to folks, but again, it's always like how much you put into it and so forth. The biggest thing is I'm just trying to show you there's, you know, what we have is, you know, a plan. Depending on how much you want to put into something is up to you. We try to have risk, we have targets, we have entries, we have, I think, what it takes for any trader to become a really consistent trader, okay? Consistent means that we wake up every morning, we're able to learn how to create a plan based off of the broader market, but also you have an entry and a stop, and you know how to calculate that, and somewhere between that you become comfortable. Like, how do I become comfortable in this trade? And a lot of times what traders find out is by assessing your risk and truly taking that risk. Meaning, once we calculate the risk, whatever that amount is, are you truly accepting of that loss? And if you are, you're going to find yourself at peace. You're going to be able to take a trade. You're going to be able to allow that trade to do what it needs to do. And even if it comes back on you, you've already accepted it. It's just a trade. Live your life. Enjoy it. And when everybody else is panicked, just know that you have something that you can work with every single morning that you wake up. All right, pretty cool. So we're coming in here to our next target. Let me go ahead and just show that. I'm just trying to showcase my alerts as well. So I'm just going to show you really quick. Boom, I'm going to sell right there at target. Boom, comes in here. It shows me that I closed those contracts, closed out at 17.24%, and then you're done. Over here, you can also see my target is working. We use the Fibonacci extension for this target. We will be doing a class on this soon. And again, if you're interested, you need to reach out. You can reach out on Twitter. Just send me a message or something like that. It'll change your life. It'll really change your life when it comes to trading. Anyways, I'm going to take off. We're going to now manage some trades and have a good old time. So you guys have a good one, and we will see you soon.